Hey guys, how are you? Happy Sunday. The cat is here. So I was streaming with Lala on Saturday morning for me, evening for her, and she was like, "Where is Lennox?" And he was napping, but he's not napping currently, so he may bop on in. Hello, everybody. There are lots of folks here. It is delightful to see you. It is actually a wonderful spring day here in southern Wisconsin. It's like 60, which Lala can probably explain in Celsius to those who use that. And it is sunny and it is nice, and I'm in full spring cleaning, so I don't know where anything is anymore. So, nice to see you, Linda T. I hope you are well. Hi, Shanna. We'll be redirecting over to Shanna's channel at the end of the hour, and she's probably making something cool. Danny is here. If you are in her group, she was sharing her fun panda adventures, which are quite fascinating. Good to see you, Tech Troublemaker. Thank you for the help. Oh, what was that? A while ago in figuring out mics and whatnot with OBS being stupid. Although I'm going to go back to using OBS because at some point soon StreamYard expires and I don't really want to pay them $400 a year. Because we do this for fun. Oh, hey, Tim. Even Tim is here. Wow. It is a full house today. And Lala, of course. We did it's a lovely 15 Celsius. Yeah. I know in the Philippines, because you're subtropical, like, it is not like, it is probably not a lovely 15 degrees Celsius currently, but it is good to see you. Blossom, lovely to see you as well. I think I hit everyone. Oh, hello, Happy Place. Good to see you. I think you are one of Lala's friends as well. So yes, we got some mail. Two things came in the mail, and one thing came from spring cleaning. Interestingly enough, it's from our friend Heather, who's been going through some things. So she is actually on my church's prayer list right now. So, but seems to be doing well. But this might be a Christmas card or an Easter card, or a completely different card. It says, "Thanks for being a friend," and a very Kendra E. Oh, I like this element. This is like chipboard, but like finished on the side. Maybe it's plastic. Okay, I'm not sure what it is. I think it's actually chipboard. Close to my heart used to make rubber embellishments, which were really cool. I have a few hoarded somewhere, but anyway, this says, "To a dear friend," and then a nice little piece of pattern paper. Really great layout. We might steal it today. Wishing you crafty happiness. If only we all had that. And then we have something from, I believe, Ms. Cordelia. So Lennox has to come and say hello. We may move him later. Oh, this was the weather, I believe, themed card swap. You have our little thing, but I believe this swap was weather themed, so I think that's why there's the clouds, and it says Happy Easter, which is really cute. And it's not part of a swap. It was just I hope you didn't. No, I've never seen this card before, Cordelia. If you watch this on the replay, sorry. I'm like, this is really fun. I think this is one of those like dancing whatever, or an idea like that, where you basically have like a circular piece of foam and then a thing that swings back and forth. Anyway, very cute. Look at that ink blending. How fantastic is that? I am a fan. My ink blends never come out that even. Although the ones I used, glycerol or glycerol, whatever, the vegetable glycerin, I think, that helped a lot. Because it's not water, so it doesn't get your paper wet, but it acts like water where the dye can move around. And then we have something from Danny. Is it a cat? Who knows? There's a bird. I don't know if it might be a mer something. Danny is doing a series that she does every year on Mermaid. I should have actually pulled some mermaid stuff. I have a really cool mermaid stamp that's I'm excited. Although you've seen it before because It's one where it was released as a digi, which as a fundraiser, which I own, but I also have. Oh, it's the Ian card. Oh, how fantastic! Um, so this is Peeps Ian with his little chicks, but that is really neat. That's a really cool. It's fancy because this looks like it's all die cut together, but that's not quite so. But it's the chicks are one element, and then Ian is on top. But very cute, lovely paper. I forget whose paper this is, but I really like these pastel carrots. I think that's sorry, I wasn't in frame. It's hard when you have a 12-pound cat who's taking up half of your space, but he's having fun. But this is I do love all the Ians. I have a binder of Ians, which we haven't used in a while. Maybe we should do that next week. And that's it. So let's move the cat so we can perhaps do a little crafting. Would you like to move yourself? Why? Don't move yourself that way, please. Oh, my friend Chris made this awesome. Sorry, you're crooked, and that's probably driving people nuts. This awesome mug wrap thingy that holds all my tools. So now this is a lot easier to find all my stuff, and it's less prone to getting stuck under the mat. Anyway, I pulled out my favorite sentiments ever, which are may or may not still exist. These are the Spellbinder fresh picked ones. I actually bought a second set because I lost the high, but it works out well because I use Hello a lot. So I can die cut two identical ones at once, which is pretty sweet. And this is their this was from last month, I think. It was the paper pad of the month, but I really like the blues. So I thought we would do blue something. And there's a lot of ephemera. And it's not specifically Easter. But I don't know if there's sentiments in here. We'll see in a second. Oh, I also found this, which I thought kind of would work nicely with these blues. As you know, I am not particularly a pink fan, but a little pink is nice. This is also the time of year, like, I don't mind pink. And then I pulled out a Spellbinder or scrapbook.com set I've never used that has lots of things about blooming. So if we use a flower thingy, we can probably put it together. And what I thought we could do is maybe do a sort of one-sheet wondery kind of thing. Let me catch up on... Everyone is saying hello to everybody. And Not Too Shabby made me happy. Now their paper isn't glued, so it's so much easier to cut. Oh, anyway, we'll look at the paper in a second. Let me catch up on chat. Oh, Cordelia is here. Thank you for the fabulous card, Cordelia. I don't know if you came in before I saw your card, but your card also came in the mail with a fun little bunny. And no, I didn't get a similar card last year. Hello, Carmen. I must have missed you. Hello. Good to see you, Carmen. Welcome. So I thought we could use one of my favorite card layouts, which is basically to make a strip card so that we can mix a couple of these patterns together. And I did pull some coordinating cardstock that I think we can do like some top folding bases out of. And then maybe some layers, depending on what we want to do with our ephemera. So we have lambs that look kind of creepy because they're sort of disembodied. But there's a lovely geometric on the other side. This one I like a lot. Lambs not so much, but the squares are really cool. This would actually work really well with a strip card because we probably... If we wanted to, we could use the strips as they exist on here. Or we could cut, just cut some measurement. I tend to like the 1 inch by 4 inch because they're easy to remember what size they are. But, some faux glitter and then some butterflies. The butterflies are really cool. I do like the butterflies. I like the butterflies particularly like with something like this. So you have something that's more white dominant and something that's more blue. And this was the one that had the... Oh, that's sad. This has the umbrellas on the back. But this is a really nice one because this is almost like a whole background. So depending on what we do, I may change my mind and just use patterns I like. So we got those, and then some sort of like watercolor florals on one side, and then some white, well, not quite white, sort of off-white sand color on the back. I like the flowers on that one better, I think. And then some really watercolory things. Now these would be great for if we do that strip card idea. And then some plants on the back. Again, I just kind of like the plants as a background. So I think I'm changing my mind, and I think I'm just going to grab the ones that I think look like a background, and then we'll probably do some similar things. I don't know. Let me know if you have a preference. I kind of wanted to do a strip card though. Although we could do, why don't we'll do what I love, the one let's do the butterflies and the flowers. Like I think this will be a really nice sort of monochromatic color thing, and then we can figure out if we want to use, we could use ephemera or sentiments or both on top of this. But I think that's the direction I'm going, because it'll be really easy to cut. Oh yeah, they're really good. So Teresa of Fresh and Renewed with Teresa, and she also has a faith journaling channel, or sorry, not a faith journaling. She has a faith planning channel that I'm spacing on the name of, but that one is also really cool. She does nice stuff. I must say, I am a fan. But they've always had a really good print quality. I have no idea where they actually get their stuff made, but I quite liked it. I have always liked it quite a bit. And the nice thing about doing strips is you just kind of, you just go every inch, and then this is pretty easy to do. And I'm going to cut up the whole piece of paper, which will give us some extra strips, so we could use those for something else or just make more of these. You don't really actually have to. You can mix and match between all sorts of patterns for these. So this is a really good card layout to use up stuff. So we have a bunch of these. And then we'll do the same with the butterflies. And then I think what we can do is mostly put the background, get the card bases cut and put the backgrounds together, and then figure out what we want to do with the focal point. See if I'm missing things. Everybody is saying hello. Oh, that's so nice, Linda. Yeah, we like to do our Sunday night thing. I don't know what next Sunday night will be like because it's Mother's Day, and I usually do things with my mom on Mother's Day, and sometimes we're home by 6 and sometimes not. So, FYI, I'm going to leave the stream for now, but if stuff comes up, I will definitely post. We usually go to a really nice restaurant outside of town, so do a lot of other people. So it's always kind of a one of those things, right? Like it's one of those, nobody goes there because it's too popular, but and these are not quite perfect, but that'll be fine once we get the card together. Grab my other trimmer, and we can make a card base and then start laying these out. Do some extra card if we want to do once we figure out what our focal point is, we can probably decide if we want to, what we want to do there. Let's go with 5.5. Get my cutting blade out of the way so I don't cut all my card bases in half immediately. But I don't know. I feel like this was like the first weekend that, well, it's still been like 40 degrees in the morning, so it still doesn't feel like really spring. But we've also had some days that have been like 70, and I think it was all pretty close to 80 at one point recently. So I don't know. It's that weird time of the year where you can't quite decide what season it is. But it does feel like that time of the year where, before I know it, it's going to be Mother's Day and then it's going to be summer. And I probably will grab some white to do a nice inside piece because we have probably tons of ephemera to do that with. But let me just, I like these, I kind of like these pieces with the larger butterflies. And then I don't really. This one kind of doesn't have a butterfly on it, but I'm also going to cover up most of it. So I think I'll put that one in the middle. Because I would like to not cover up all of the butterflies. And then these all kind of have little butterflies on them. So I think those work well together. And then the blue ones don't matter because they're all the same. What I'm going to do is this, and then we will figure out what kind of a thing we want to put on the front. You can make these smaller and then mat this if you want. The one thing to be careful about with this particular card layout is you wind up with less space in between the pieces than in between than on the sides. So you don't quite get, this is a little off center, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you don't quite get the 1/4 inch everywhere. You can if you cut them smaller, but I kind of like the inch measurement I can remember. And then I'm going to get this down and then do a similar thing on the other one. And then we can pick ephemera and decide like what kind of a focal point we want. Yeah, I like them a lot. I mean, I'm very blue, partial to blue, but they've always made great paper. I keep hoping they do like a digital option for folks like Lala who are overseas and like shipping is problematic, but I can also see why you would want consistent quality. Like, I think Biddy Penny said this, like the only downside to the digitals is that like depending on people's printers, you can get very different results, particularly if anything is pastel. Like on bold colors, it's less of a thing. So now I'm going to move these out of the way. And the only thing we kind of want to make sure is that we're not going to run out of space. But if you put the next two in first, then you can just sort of balance whatever space is left. And it will look, it makes more sense visually if there's more space in the middle, I guess. Like it will look more normal, especially since we're going to put something over the top as sort of like a focal point here eventually. Although these cards come together pretty fast, so we're probably doing just fine on time, and we are. We've only been streaming for 20 minutes. So he is currently licking his empty food bowl. I think he's hungry. He was on the desk earlier, but now he's on the ground. But there are also like really interesting things to see and smell at the moment because of spring is definitely being spring here. So we've got sort of our base background, and then since we have plenty to do the other one, I think I'm just gonna do the other one, layering it in the other way. But since these pieces are more consistent with each other, I don't think I need to dry fit this to figure out exactly how I want this to look, but I might regret that later. We'll see. Yeah, Biddy Penny said that like investing in photo paper is worth it if you're doing anything pastel. I printed a bunch of her stuff not using fancy paper. I'm just going to leave a little space at the bottom here because I didn't check to see if the card base was level, so I kind of want to trim this off a little bit. So I'm leaving a little more space than I probably need to there for that reason, and we will fix that momentarily. If you remember to look at the card base to see like if you're on the long or the short side, that also can alleviate that problem. But I didn't do that. And I never know how much of that stuff is like normal people would care, or if it's just sort of like people who make cards who get a little OCD about the details because you've seen a whole bunch of these. But you know. But I do really like this blue color. I like this blue monochromatic thing that we have going on here. Quite a lot. It is my jam. Other than Mother's Day, I think we'll have some next month release stuff for Crafty Stamp Co. on the channel. They're moving over to less videos and more blogs, but I'll probably just make videos anyway because I like making videos. So I'm just going to trim off like just the slightest amount and carefully because we don't want to like wreck the card in the process of trying to trim, and that worked out pretty well. So now we have a couple. We can save these pieces. I'll save the other two and maybe use them on the inside. So we got that going on, and now let's sort of dig into our ephemera and see what we would like to have hang out with butterflies. The original sketch for this, I believe, was a Kendra Morgan sketch from one of the cards by Kendra, but you can really adapt this to any size strip you have. Well, any height strip you have. So you could use little strips or big strips or whatever. So you can do a bunch of different things. And per usual, there are like 7 million pieces of ephemera in here. So we have a lamb, which is okay. I'm less of a lamb person. Oh, we have a bird. The bird is really nice. I like the bird a lot. I like the lady too, particularly like on this card, because what you could do is sort of ground her on the white layer. I kind of like that as an idea. Potentially. Because then you could use, I could die cut one of the bloom. I kind of like her in the center if we're just going to have her hanging out, even though there's sort of like a partial butterfly. How does she look on the other one? Oh, I like that better because then she covers over the weird butterfly. I like that a lot. We have some disembodied feet, which I guess if you were doing, I don't know what I would do with this. This is kind of an interesting one. I guess you'd have it like, you'd want to like, I don't know. I'm kind of fascinated. Like the boots and the jacket I get, it's just sort of a cluster, but I'm curious. I'm curious what you'd do with this because you'd almost need to put like a panel on top of it or a Halloween card. Unless there's ephemera to make like a whole person. We have another lady. The eggs. The bicycle is really pretty. That I kind of like as a main focal point. We have Bunny. The bunny is very cute. The bunny's a little cartoony for. I like the lady better. I'm still liking these. I don't think I'll save the bird because I feel like you could use the bird on the inside because like butterflies fly and birds fly, and it's in the same color palette. These are really nice too. Although I kind of like just a single piece of ephemera that's big, so I may go with that. But I would like something smaller. We could do another bird, but I think there's a floral in here that was pretty neat. Yeah, like I think I'll do this flower on the inside of that card. Ooh, I like that one a lot too. That's cool. We have more books. Lady with the Lamb. More flowers. Again, this you'd almost want to put to the side and like cut it off or something because it's sort of got like a hand just kind of hanging out. But again, this would be cool because you could have it kind of coming out of a panel. I guess you could use it too with like an interactive card. Now these sneakers make sense. I actually really like these. I like these better than the flower. And then the umbrella is cool because it matches the umbrella. I mean, I guess you could sort of put the umbrella under her too. Like you could do like an umbrella with the person on top. Like that would be kind of cool if you wanted to do more of a. I kind of like that. Maybe we'll leave that. And then more feet. And we have other. And they continue to do this thing where you get multiple ethnicities, which I really like. I think it's really cool because then you can make the card kind of match whoever you're sending it to. Anywho, so I think we have our little ephemeras. Let me see. Oh, what did Deborah say? Oh, yeah, I like the flowers coming out of the boots. I think that's a cool idea. I guess you could do that for the shoes too. Like you could possibly cut off like the person elements. I don't know. Would it be like rude to like post it in our Facebook group and ask like what exactly should I do with this? I don't know. Jamie would probably slap me. So we need sentiments and we need some color that's not this, but probably navy. So I don't see navy on my desk. Let me grab it. Silver would also work nicely here. Do I have some of this metallic? I don't know. Like, I don't love this mirror because it's so glue fingerprint friendly. So let's, or we could see if there's, I don't know if there's a dark blue in this paper pad. Because we could, if there's something that's like most like a solid, I don't think there is, but we could do this. I don't know. I think that would blend in. Let me get real navy. Real navy. Here we are. I think we can just cut a sidekick friendly strip off of this. And then save enough in case we want to like actually make a card base out of it later. Oh, I didn't grab white. I should grab some white too. Because we should make some inside pieces. Oh. Well, that's convenient. There was some in my most accessible pile. I'm going through a spring cleaning, so like I'm just realizing that I don't know where anything is anymore. But eventually we will be in a better place where I know where everything is. And a lot of it that's I lucked into some additional storage space so I can put all my like Christmas and fall stuff out of the way when it's now because like I'm not going to want to craft with Christmas and fall for a while. But I did hang out on Lala's channel on Saturday. So if you're interested in seeing that, it is in a community post, but it is also available. So these are just inside pieces because this is going to need them. And then we just need to grab the sidekick and grab the plates. And I think I guess I could do Bloom let's do Bloom for both of them. We could do thanks too. I feel like the lady thanks makes sense. And let's do blue. Let's do Bloom. I always feel like I don't know who I'd send a Bloom card to, but I've also sent them just like as hello cards too, or in place of hello cards. Because I think of it as like such a fun spring sentiment because it's kind of a invitation for renewal and whatnot. I mean, spring kind of comes with that anyway, but sometimes it's nice to explicitly say that. See if I'm missing anything in the chat. I didn't make a. I haven't made one yet, Deborah. I should. I'm getting very close to 100 cards, and I really would like that cool robot stamp set. There's our little. Our thanks. But I should. I thought the craft roulette parameters this week were pretty straightforward. So I think it would be a fun. I think it'll be a fun week to craft too. I haven't actually made a video on craft roulette in a while. Not for any specific reason, but I think last time I made a craft roulette card, I was doing it on a Zoom with folks, and then oh, that did come out! Hooray! And something else happened. Oh, Easter happened, and I was busy with Easter stuff. But I should do one this week. Maybe I'll do a pop-up live or just do one and post it. But I'm always tempted to do that thing that smart people do, which is like just have a card ready to go that's most of the parameters. But I don't know. Then I always want to do like a one-off card. What do we want to do? Let's get the fronts done first, and then we can do the insides. And we are still doing really well on time. Yeah, I don't remember. Now I'm gonna have. Let me pull it up. I forget what the parameters are. I feel like they were things. I guess science is the weird one, but like lots of stuff is science. But I forget. There's. I believe the project. Let me just pull it up because then we can know for sure. Craft roulette. Yeah, so it's a gift card. Colors are train, element is science, and add a flower. So basically, the flower would also kind of cover science. So, like, you could do a floral card. I mean, these cards would cover science too, right? We have botany, we have zoology, we have more botany. I do kind of like this with the umbrella. I think this is kind of fun. So like the science thing is less weird than you think it is, probably. Guess we will. Do I want to ground the? Maybe for this one, I'll put Bloom up here because I feel like the bike is going to be a little not quite and like I think with the bike will like make the space here a little uneven, so I kind of like it better this way. Anyway, so I think that's not going to be hard, and you could also basically claim that your gift is the card. So like you could make a gift card or a card. Oh, I have to mail it to Mary, but I'll show it to you quick whilst the glue is doing the glue thing. because like this card technically can be a gift card, because if you open it, right, like if you use foam tape rather than just gluing this down, the whole thing can be a gift card. It can be deep enough to put a gift card in. So I might do that, because that Sunny Studios die is fun to play with. And Danny was nice and told me about it after I was showing a different card that used a template essentially to do it. But the die is way easier. It's on my desk somewhere, so I might do that. Get our bloom on. My cat is missing somewhere. Huh. Do you ever have that like pet thing where you can hear that they're doing something, but you don't know where they are exactly? And Lennox loves just licking the like plastic things come in. I think because when he was a kitten, his dry cat food came in a plastic bag. So I think he just thinks that all plastic bags have dry cat food in them, and then he's disappointed when they don't. I can see Kaiser, but I can't see where Lennox is. But who knows? He may reappear at some point. There we go. Oh, is it? Yeah, the cats understand us. They're smart. Actually, one of the uh, one of the folks on my condo board was telling me about, she's got her cat trained so that he can be like semi outside, because I should probably make sure this is going to work. Oh, yeah, that's fine. So she didn't clicker train him, but trained him to know his name. So he will come back if he is requested to. So put her a little off center, so this whole thing, the whole cluster is pretty much balanced. It's kind of interesting because these are basically monochromatic cards, but they're very not boring. I think I'll. Well, we can probably just put these in with tape. I'm very close to running out of tape, so we'll see how that goes. But if not, we can always glue it in. Because I am always destined to like run out of tape on the live stream, or get cat fuzz on the tape, which just happened. There we go. Oh well, no one minds if there's cat fuzz on the inside of their card, I'm sure. Now these I'm going to line up hopefully correctly. Yeah. There we go. Inside on one. We'll do it inside on the other one. I'm convinced the cat's like, and our tape's out at perfectly the right time, which is good. I mean, then I will recharge it, not now, but everything else I pretty much want to glue down anyway, so That will work out pretty well. Alrighty, there we go. This one has the little boots. I feel like I want to put this at the bottom and then put the boots on here. So there's kind of semi makes sense. You could also obviously use the other side of the paper, but I kind of like continuing the theme onto the inside. There we go. Do like a little flower shoes there. And then that still gives you a good amount of space to write a message in. Always not. Looks plastic. Deborah everyone has a cat who looks plastic, apparently. Kaiser likes to chew on, like, you have like a Amazon package and you have the pull tab, not the pull tab, but like the actual cardboard. Like, he likes to chew on like very thin strips of paper. He doesn't eat them. He just likes to chew on them, which I don't know. That one I've never understood. But this is why ephemera is awesome, because I didn't have to color or die cut any of these things. And that made this process a lot faster. I think we'll do the opposite thing here because the bird is flying and the butterflies are flying. Like, this is kind of an in-flight bird. So I think we can do something a little more like that. Maybe a little further down, but do like that. You have the bird sort of perching, except it's in flight, so it doesn't really matter. What's on the back of this? The other thing we could do is use the back. Oh, I kind of like that. Because the way this gradient works, like, it sort of highlights the bird if you put the bird in the center here. Yeah, I like that better. So we'll use the other side of the paper. That's interesting. I've never had the cat try and open a box, either of them, actually. I probably shouldn't say that because they might decide to try it tomorrow now that I said they don't do it. Because cats. There we go. And I'm just going to sort of put the bird at sort of where the focus would be because of this lighter section. Oh, Kaiser is here. He says hello. He's on the ground at the moment. But anyway, I think that is. Well, I think I guess we're done a little bit early, even though we made 2 cards. So I don't think there's anything too special happening this week, but we can take a look at these. I will post nicer pictures later, but we have the thanks and the bloom, and these were both done with the paper pad and the ephemera of the month. Oh, there's Lennox. He made a reappearance. Now he's sitting off camera, but I really like how these came out. They're very cool and like not boring for monochromatic cards, and I feel like they'd be very usable by almost anybody. So I think that's it. I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm forgetting. Nope. Lala and I will be on my channel, Faith Journaling, at the end of the month. If that's something that's interesting to you, those streams typically are longer because we do both analysis and actual crafting. So just FYI. Other than that, not too much. I may put up some other projects this week, depending on how the week goes. Last week was quite quiet, so I didn't get much done, actually, crafting. I crafted more this weekend than all week, even though it was a pretty quiet week. But a lot of issues got resolved this week, so that was good. Anyway, nice chatting with you. I'm going to grab a snack. This should redirect over to Chana's channel, and she'll be live in about 10 minutes unless she starts early. So it was great seeing you guys, and I will talk to you over on Hannah's channel. Have a great night.